Extra starts right now.
And welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. You wouldn't know it, Tania, by looking at that sky cam, but we are under a First Alert weather day for a severe thunderstorm watch that is in place until 11 p.m. tonight. The threat of some strong wind gusts and hail. Here's that live look of Birmingham. Things are still quiet, but certainly could be seeing that activity changing here for the rest of us over the next few hours.
Oh yeah, listen, some of us already seeing
Right,
storms.
exactly.
Maybe not quite here in Birmingham or Jefferson County, but to our north.
Right, yeah. So we've been seeing, especially across northeast Alabama, things have already been very active. Wes is off today, but you know Wes, he's been sending us some pictures in of the hail. Yes. So one of our First Alert weather watchers, Wes, sitting in those hail pictures. So we've been seeing them in Albertville. But let's get right to radar to show you exactly where we are seeing these storms right now. So we are zoomed in here on northeast Alabama, and this is pulling from the Huntsville radar site. But you'll notice we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in place where you see these yellow polygons. Gee, I think we can start on the one first that is closer to center. That's where we now have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in place. And this particular one is in place until 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And I would say if you're somewhere like Center, Cedar Bluff, right along that 431 corridor, the main issue with this, where Tania is pointing out that pink that's showing up on radar, that is likely where we are seeing the potential for some large hail. So Tania has pulled up some first alert times here. If you live in Black Creek, this could be arriving at 6:34 p.m. Lay Springs 6:37, Leonard at 6:37, Mackey at 6:42, and Bristow at 6:43. So the main issue with this, as it pushes towards 431 and it's moving to the east-southeast at about 33 miles per hour, you can see our system here is detecting that we could be seeing hail on the order of 1 to 3/4 inches size. So that would be the diameter. So this is that look at this area where you've got the pink and the black showing up here on radar. Possibly some hail falling along I-59 right now, but most of this, as we're zooming in, is moving just to the east of I-59. So this is our hail detector here on our system that we have in the First Alert Weather Center, and where you see those pinks showing up, that is showing that possibility of some hail that is possibly falling around Flanders, Black Creek, Lay Springs, down towards Slackland, and closer towards areas like Mackey, Aubrey Isle, Dixon Shop. So anywhere along these areas, along that Highway 411 corridor near Leesburg, a lot of this is beginning to move into northeast Alabama. So areas like Center, Brooks Estates, we could be seeing this storm headed your way here shortly. Now we'll look back a little bit farther to the west where we're still seeing some active severe thunderstorm warnings. Up towards Albertville, I think this is where Wes had been sending in pictures of some hail he had gotten sent from viewers. We have been seeing some hail that was dropped by this core that's moving through Highway 431. And you'll notice the pink showing up, again indicating we could be seeing some hail with this particular cell up to about 1 inch in diameter. So going ahead and giving those first alert times along the path of this storm as it pushes to the east-southeast at 45 miles per hour. So Saratoga moving in at 6:34, Marshall at 6:36 p.m., McVille around 6:37 p.m., Arona at 6:41 p.m., and Fenton around 6:43. Now, I know we have our viewers in Coleman County as well. So this one in particular was for Marshall County, which is just to the north of our area, but we also now have an active severe thunderstorm warning in Coleman County. And to me, it looks like potentially that's been extended into Blount County as well. So this is right on par with our forecast. Right around that 6-7 o'clock hour, we are going to see these severe thunderstorms moving in. This particular one that we are tracking that is in effect for Blount County until 7:15 p.m., it's still in Coleman County. If you are checking in Coleman, the bulk of this is to the north of you, but you can see it's moving through areas like Smithdale, Berlin, right along Highway 278, Highway 69 in Coleman County, and could be producing hail about 1 inch in diameter. We'll get those first alert times that Tania has pulled up on the map. Smithdale arriving at 6:36, East Point at 6:39, Pleasant View at 6:41, Berlin at 6:43, Simcoe 6:43, a first alert for Baileytown at 6:50. So where you see the pink showing up here on the reflectivity, that is where we're potentially seeing that hail core, and we're zooming in to street level here. Tania's going into street level so we can get a better idea of exactly where this hail core is, and it looks like it is a little closer to Highway 157. So if you have any friends or family who live along Highway 157, this is pushing east-south eastward at about 45 miles per hour. This is the type of setup where if you have a garage or if you have a carport, you want them to be parked in that area, because that's definitely going to be an area that's going to be the safest, because this type of hail, we're talking up to 2-inch hail in diameter, could potentially develop. That's the kind that could put those dings on your cars. But most of the activity right now, as we look, is across northeast Alabama. And where you're seeing those yellow polygons, that's where we have active severe thunderstorm warnings in place. So that newest one we had that Tania was pulling up was in Blount County. And likely what we're going to be seeing, yes, a lot of this activity is focused in northeast Alabama right now, but eventually we could be seeing some more storms developing off to the northwest. Whereas you see, as we reset the view, looking at the rest of us, things are quiet. But if you live somewhere like Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Jasper, that doesn't mean you're in the clear. We've got this watch in effect until 11 p.m. And so there's still going to be the possibility that as these storms push to the south and east, they could be having that potential to produce some hail. So right now, areas to the south are quiet. Tania, if we can, I don't know if you can pull up where we can look at the next 2 hours, looking at that future cast there, just to get a better idea. Some of our high resolution models that we have here in the First Alert Weather Center, they're so in tune, they can get a better idea of where all of this activity is going to be within the next 2 hours. So you can see all of it right now is concentrated across northeast Alabama, but as we go forward in time, that keeps on drifting to the south and east. So areas like Gadsden potentially getting closer to Anniston within the next 2 hours, possibly even areas like Lamar and Marion County finally beginning to see the possibility of some activity moving in along the I-22 corridor. So just giving our friends over in North Alabama, mainly along and north of Highway 278, that's where the bulk of the activity can be. But if we look at this radar view within 2 hours from now, Coleman, Albertville, Gunnersville, Gadsden, Center, Cedar Bluff, Fort Payne, potentially still under the gun for some of these damaging storms. So we'll keep a close eye on things for you. But right now, the main storms of note are in our northeast Alabama counties, stretching from Coleman County all the way over to Cherokee County, and that latest warning has been extended for Blount County. So the main thing we're going to be watching as we go into tonight, could we see any large hail? And I do want to remind you all as well, if you have the First Alert weather app, which if you don't already, go ahead and download it. This is your cue to do that. You can submit any damage photos you saw. We mentioned Chief Meteorologist Wes White, even on his day off, letting us know where some of the hail is sent in from our viewers. But you can send them to Tania and me as well, or you can send them in on the First Alert weather app, and that can give us a better idea. We can also let our friends know at the National Weather Service in Huntsville and Birmingham what we are seeing on the ground. And so far what we've been seeing is some reports of some hail in areas like Gunnersville and Albertville. But right now, I would say the storm that looks the most potent and the storm that has had a history of producing hail is moving through Cherokee County right now. So yeah, Tania's zooming in again. We just don't want to leave this cell for our friends over in Cherokee County. I know a lot of you during severe weather events will check in and be like, hey, I feel like we're forgotten over in East Alabama sometimes because the storms are getting so close to Georgia, getting to areas like the Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia market. We don't want to let you down. We still want to make sure we're giving you coverage. So as Tania is showing here, where that bright pink is showing up on the map, that's likely where some large hail is falling, and that is near Highway 411. So you can see here where the pink is showing up just to the south of Weiss Lake. That's where likely some hail is falling from Maple Grove, and this is right near Plano, Coosa River Subdivision, and Brooks Estates. So anywhere near here, if you live from County Road 7 across County Road 5 to County Road 71, Tania's doing a great job of getting us into street level. This, for the most part, is to the south of Center, this hail core. But even if you're in Center, I would be keeping a close eye. And again, if you have any reports of this, you can send that in to us on the First Alert Weather app. But all of this is near the Coosa River in Weiss Lake right now, but it looks like maybe potentially some of the strongest hail from Gunnersville to Albertville. And then we also see that possibility of maybe some hail falling back towards Coleman. But we're going to be keeping an eye on these storms for you. I know we still have a lot to talk about here on a Weather Extra. And so we will be right back after the break for how to keep you safe during severe weather.
Good call. Oh.
Yeah, was it?
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Tania Michelle here, still tracking those severe storms for far north central Alabama and more specifically northeast central Alabama. Still parts of Cherokee County over towards the city of Center, and even some severe storms moving through the Coleman County area. We'll have more updates and tracking on radar in just a bit, but I want to remind you that those storms will be moving further down south, impacting other parts of central Alabama. So here's what you need to remember to be safe. Have that NOAA weather radio. Although we're not seeing a big tornado threat for this evening, it's still non-zero. You want to make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather information, even if your electricity goes out from some of these stronger storms that move through, because of course the winds will pick up for any stronger or severe storm. That First Alert Weather app is a great tool to have on your mobile device. It's free. You can download it in your Apple or Google Play Store. Make sure you keep those devices charged throughout this evening in case there is a power outage. At least you have a device to get a hold of your family, your friends, and people if you need to. And again, if it's not raining near you yet, go ahead and secure those outdoor objects. Let's take a look now at those current wind gusts across central Alabama. It is breezy out there. Nothing too crazy. Of course, any stronger or severe storm that occurs, we can see damaging straight line winds. So that's one thing to pay attention to. But it looks like the gustier winds right now are closer to about 20 miles per hour, mainly in East Alabama. And then there looks like some winds gusting up just around 25 in parts of Marion County. So it is very breezy at the current moment. Let's get a better check on that radar though, and talk more about those storms that are moving across the area right now. Lauren?
Hey, Tania. Yeah, even outside of these storms, the winds are going to be pretty breezy today, but we still do want to focus on where we have active warnings into effect. Even before I show you those active warnings, I just want to reiterate where we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place for our First Alert Weather Day. All of our area. So north and central Alabama highlighted in the pink there under that first alert or under that severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. But now we'll pull up what we're seeing here with the storm. So the storm that I think is really the one of note at this hour is the one that is moving through Cherokee County and in Center. So you can see right along Highway 411, that is where we've got this pink showing up here, that bright pink, that fuchsia color from Dixon Shop, Plano, Center, Brooks Estates, Moshett. If I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong, please let us know, because we want to certainly know more about these smaller towns that we cover in our area. Bottom line is right along Highway 283, Highway 411, there could be some hail falling in Cherokee County, and this severe thunderstorm warning in Cherokee County is in effect until 7:30. So we'll pull up our Barron button. This is called our Barron button, or triple threat. You may be, what in the world is a Barron button? Well, Barron is the name of the technology that we have here in the First Alert Weather Center. And where you see that bright pink, that is indicating that, hey, as this is moving through Brooks Estates towards Piney, moving towards Ferguson, towards Beaumar along Highway 411, we do have a first alert for this possibly producing some hail that possibly could be an inch in diameter, and hail that is an inch in diameter or greater would indicate that it has the potential to produce some large hail. So as we look a little farther to the west, we're still seeing another severe thunderstorm, and this one has warranted a severe thunderstorm warning for Etowah County until 6:45, and then it's been extended farther into Etowah County until 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So this is the next storm we need to keep an eye on, and again, anytime we're on this reflectivity with our First Alert AccuTrack, that's going to indicate when you see those pink colors that we are possibly seeing the possibility of some hail that is coming down. With our system here, I think this is detecting about hail 1/2 inch in diameter. What I don't want to discount though is that as these storms move through, check out the lightning count. I mean, we're zoomed in here to this one storm that is approaching Etowah County, moving through the northern portions of the county. It is producing over 80 lightning strikes. So lightning doesn't make a storm severe, but it does make it impactful. So when thunder roars, go indoors. It's getting into that time of the year when we see those pop-up summer thunderstorms that could certainly be impactful and be some lightning producers. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. We also are keeping a close eye on this one that is moving through Coleman County, and it does look a little bit more impressive than it did earlier. So you can see from Berlin to Holly Pond, right along Highway 278. That's where we're seeing that pink, almost this black color showing up there, which could be indicating some large hail is falling. So a first alert for our friends in Coleman County. I'm going to see if we can get a storm track on this so we can get some first alert times for you as this moves towards Blount County. Let's see. Okay, so not giving us any first alert times, but there is the possibility that as this is moving in, it is going to be producing some large hail closer to Holly Pond. So areas like Baileytown, Berlin, Holly Pond along Highway 278 likely seeing the possibility of some large hail. And to make a storm severe, the classification of a severe storm would be hail 1 inch or greater in size. So there's certainly the possibility that that is happening right here along Highway 278 as this pushes east of I-65 in Coleman County and makes its way towards Blount County. So if this particular cell, let's say it's moving at about 40 miles per hour as it moves into Blount County. Sometimes we like to get the estimated time of arrival so we can give you those first alert times. You have a better idea when you're going to be impacted. So this could be moving in more hail coming into Holly Pond at 6:51, Birdie around 6:56, Liberty and Blentsville, a first alert of these moving in around 7 o'clock, Clarence around 7:08, and Walnut Grove around 7:15. So those are the active severe thunderstorm warnings, and we do have a new warning as well that has been issued for Coleman County for another storm that's moving in from Andrews Chapel. This is going to be moving towards I-65, towards Centerville and Coleman County, South Vinemont, and particularly Coleman. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on these storms as we go into the evening. Tania.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, these are some photos that have been sent to our First Alert Weather app and to our chief meteorologist, Wes Wyatt. Some of these photos have been tweeted on Twitter already, but people have been getting hail in their yard, in their area, and stepped outside and picked some up. This one is a photo sent in by Ryan Green out of Albertville. So it just goes to show you that these storms are very, very strong, and they're low end severe storms, I would say, but still nothing to play around with, producing some gusty winds, of course, but hail being one of the major impacts. So keep that in mind as these storms continue to shift further down south. Although some areas further south, it doesn't look like it's storming just yet. Those storms will likely move through your area as we approach the later hours for your night tonight. We'll continue to find more of your photos, send them in, but be safe. Send them into the First Alert Weather app if you have any images to show us. And if you can pick up some hail from outside, we'd love to see it. But of course, be safe first. We will talk more and track more on those storms and kind of follow it and give you updates right here on First Alert Weather Extra. We're back after the break.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. We are continuing to track these storms that have been moving into northeast Alabama. You can see we've got active severe thunderstorm warnings on these as they are pushing to the south and east. So we'll continue to watch them very closely here. I do want to zoom in on really what I think is the storm of note right now that is moving through Cherokee County. That's in effect until 7:30 p.m. for tonight. And as we get those first alert times on this, moving into NOAA at 6:51, Wharton at 6:54, Sandy Springs at 6:57, and Forney around 6:58. Tania just actually pulled in some of these photos that we've been getting in on social media. This was sent in from Keith Klein and Atala. So again, showing that the storms that are coming in tonight, they do have that capability to produce hail in diameter of an inch or greater. So here's a look at where that severe thunderstorm watch is. It's for all of our area, north and central Alabama, and this is in effect until 11 p.m. on Thursday. We're talking damaging wind gusts and large hail. And I would say thus far, really what the storms have been producing more than anything has been large hail. Now I want to give you a view from Colbert County up in northwest Alabama. So we're beginning to see some of these storms looking a little bit more impressive as they're getting into the northwest corner of the state. But we'll continue to watch these. Really, the storms of note, though, right now are in northeast Alabama. So let's look at our future cast here over the next 24 hours. So we're going to watch storms, of course, moving through northeast Alabama. But here we are at 7 o'clock, beginning to see more of that activity potentially headed closer towards areas like Marion, Winston, Lamar County. By 9 o'clock, these storms really begin to pick up a little bit of forward momentum, possibly seeing more storms along that I-2059 corridor. And as these storms come in, it's not just going to be the possibility of some strong wind gusts and large hail. We also want to watch for some intense lightning producers. Eventually, once we get past midnight, any severe threat should be over with. There could still be some lingering showers. And then we start off tomorrow morning, possibly with some sunshine. It's going to be cooler though. This is all because of a cold front coming through, so temperatures could potentially be getting down into the 40s. Now, I wanted to walk off the screen here for a second. Tania just pulled up one of our sky cams here, our First Alert Sky Vision in Coleman, and whew, you can see it is getting very dark there. So, and those trees are whipping in the wind. So I know it says the wind is variable at 6 miles per hour, but yeah, that's going to be updated eventually. Just know that we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in place for Coleman County, and that is going to be in effect here for at least the next 30 minutes. But once we get past tonight, as we go into tomorrow, we still have that possibility for some showers moving in tomorrow afternoon. So if you're doing anything after work tomorrow, there is that possibility of some more rain coming in. But not looking at a severe threat. As we look at Sunday, though, we do have a first alert for the possibility of some patchy frost. Our main thing, though, as we're looking at the 7-day forecast, is that possibility for some storms tonight. We'll take a final look at your forecast and tracking any storms coming up after the break. We'll be right back. Well, Tania, right on cue. Storm showing up just in time for First Alert Weather Extra.
Just in time.
It was like they planned it that way.
I know.
We've still got that threat of storms for tonight as well.
Absolutely. We'll be following it. We'll be giving you guys updates, probably checking in on Facebook Live, and eventually maybe doing tops and bottoms.
Right. Yeah. So check in with us every 30 minutes. If we're not on TV, we'll be on social media, and we'll see you back here at First at 9.
Be safe.